right, so I'm going to go through the inequalities. If you're watching all three of these, this is the second one of the three that I'm going to go through. And again, I just wrote down a couple three problems, I think, from this section, and I'll use those to kind of teach what you should be doing. So 5 is less than or equal to A. So this one, you don't have to do anything prior to graphing it. You just have to graph it. For most people, me included, it's a lot easier to graph if the variable is on the left-hand side. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to move this A over there, and the 5 goes over there. But if you switched where the A and the 5 are, keep in mind you got to switch this guy too, because this guy was pointing at the 5 before and trying to eat the A. I know that's like second grade language, but it works. So you still need to be pointing at the 5 and eating the A. Now A is greater than or equal to 5. So when I ask you to draw a number line, I want to see 0 and the number. It's on a worksheet, you don't have to really worry about it. But so I'm going to put 0 in the number. Whenever you have less than or greater than by itself, it's an open circle. If you have less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, it's a closed circle, because that means we want to include that number. So, closed circle because we got the or equals to, and then if you have the variable on the left-hand side, this is why I like it, this arrow points where your arrow should go. So I want numbers that are bigger than or equal to 5, numbers that are bigger than or equal to 5 are that way. And if you look, that points the same direction. I didn't number these, so I'm not positive. I think the next one's number 2, so I got this negative b is less than 2. And this might be a different number, but whatever. If it is, it still works. So the deal here is you got to get b by itself first. And the other deal here is if you multiply or divide by a negative number, you've got to change the direction this points. You got to flip it. So I'm going to divide by, there's really a negative 1 right there. So I'm going to divide by a negative 1, because I don't care about negative v, I care about v. So I'm going to cancel those, so that's still v. 2 divided by negative 1 is negative 2, but because I divided by a negative number, I have to flip this around. And that's a big key, so I'm going to do another one like that in a second, but that's probably the thing that is easiest to forget. So again, my number line, I want to see 0, I want to see negative 2, because that's the number here. This is just going to be an open circle because it doesn't have the or equal to. And I want numbers that are bigger than negative 2. So bigger than, like, where is there more? Point the arrow to where the bank account would be bigger than negative 2. It would be this way, right? And again, if you have the variable on this side, you can just look at which way this kind of arrow thing is pointing. And these will point the same way. Numerical trace. And I don't remember if this is actually number 3 or what on your sheet, but it's the third problem. Oops. Negative 3 greater than or equal to negative n. So we're kind of combining. We got to flip the n to the left-hand side. We got to change the negative. We got to flip this. So we got a lot of stuff to do. This seems like a super short, simple problem, and you might even feel like, wow, that's so short. How do I not know how to do that? But there's actually a lot of stuff in this. So I want my variables over there. So I'm going to do that first. So I'm going to put the negative n on this side. I'm going to put the negative 3 on this side. But if I flip-flop those two, I better flip-flop this guy too, or else I'm not keeping things fair. Now, there's really a negative 1 here, so I've got to divide by this negative 1. Those will cancel, but now you've divided by a negative number, so this sign has to flip-flop. So there's two little things in there that are both kind of easy to miss and could get you screwed up, so just be careful of them. And then this has the or equal to, so I got my circle there. Numbers that are bigger than 3, where's my bank account? Bigger than 3 would be